Day continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Opposition coalition Isambayan is endorsing Vice President Leni Robredo as its presidential bet for 2022. Isambayan lead convener Antonio Carpio says the group based their choice on integrity, competence, and track record. Carpio also said that while the possibility of Robredo declining is unlikely, they would have to reconvene if it happens. The group has said their VP candidate and senatorial slate will be decided in consultation with Robredo.
We have several criteria. We consulted our members. We had like a primary, and VP Leni emerged as the top notcher there. We tried to get a consensus, but we were not able to get a consensus. But there was a preference, a majority for Leni.
Meanwhile, Isambayan is not bothered with the results of current surveys on presidential preference. Robredo failed to make it to the top 5 of Pulse Asia's latest survey, with a voter preference of only 8%.
Pag dinala po natin sa numero ng survey, pwede ho si Sara, pero hindi naman survey ho ang papanalo sa eleksyon.
For her part, Vice President Leni Robredo thanks Isambayan for the endorsement, but she has yet to say whether or not she will accept the nomination. In a statement, Robredo says the nomination itself is a huge honor. She also thanked her supporters for the overwhelming support in the past months. Robredo's camp says the vice president is giving it until October 8, or the last day of COC filing, to make her final decision. In other news, the Investigation Bureau has summoned Julian Ongpin, the person of interest in the death of artist Bree Johnson. Ongpin has been ordered to appear at the NBI's office in the Cordillera Administrative Region on Monday, 2 p.m. Ongpin insists that there has been no foul play, or there was no foul play, but the Johnson family is calling for a more comprehensive investigation. Bree was found unconscious in a hostel in La Union and declared dead on arrival in a hospital on September 18. Family Director Lincoln Ong refuses to participate in any more Senate hearings on the alleged purchase of overpriced medical supplies. In a letter sent to Senator Richard Gordon, Ong's attorney Ferdinand Topacio said his client wishes to exercise his right to not participate in today's hearing and further sessions to come. Ong has been detained in the Senate since September 21 for contempt charges after evading questions from the senators. Ong also said he's been receiving death threats after making his testimony in the Senate. We'll be back with more stories after this short break. Keep it here. still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. A young superhero character is winning the hearts of kids around the world by encouraging them to get into the arts and science. Let's watch this quick take from Bloomberg.
We make education entertaining by making it first and foremost relevant and practical.
We want any child to have the opportunity to see themselves represented and to know they can be anything they dream to be.
Kukua is an edutainment company blurring the worlds of education, technology, and entertainment. I started Kukua in 2015, originally creating apps to teach kids reading and writing, which then evolved into the animated series of Super Sema. Super Sema is the first African animated series.
Sema is a 10-year-old girl who has a twin brother called MB, and together they solve problems.
Her powers are her creativity, her determination, and the use of STEAM skills. So she uses science, technology, engineering, arts, and math to technovate really cool inventions from her lab, her secret lab.
Get the lab ready! Let's technovate! We need to build our very own GPS.
Oh, a global positioning system. Cool!
My name is Clara Njero. I'm the head of production at Kukua. My role is to ensure that each of the processes happens when it's supposed to happen, to ensure that we have great content at the end of the process.
This is the studio where we record all the voices for the characters in the series.
Faster! Chip away! Carve an enormous sculpture of me! Made of pure gold!
Some of the team members here doing their work. Then we have the animator and the graphic artist. A lot of the layouts, graphic work, this is where it all happens.
Growing up in a village in Kenya, I barely had role models who looked like me. I would have believed more in the possibility of being a STEM girl if I had seen more people who looked like me and who were already in STEM. And so the opportunity to work on Super Sema to create a role model for children to see themselves represented is a passion for me.
I love these lasers. This should be a very kind of James Bond type of scene. Sema's running. Yeah, that's brilliant. I love it.
Creating an animated series is one of the most fascinating and complex processes out there. The most important part of it is the story part and getting, to create really relatable characters that children love and want to see more of.
I'm going to make an underwater robot Hoover Marine that can hoover up all the plastic in the ocean.
The reception of Super Sema has been phenomenal so far. It reached 15 million views in the first 10 weeks on our YouTube Super Sema channel. And the audience has been global, not only from Africa, but we've had so many other places in the world of kids becoming fans.
I love Super Sema, and we are super!
And we'll be expanding into toys and live experiences and more apps and eventually, a movie and really growing the IP of Sema into different exciting products.
I'm inspired by children who give us feedback and say that they love seeing Sema innovate and that is helping them. We are raising a generation of children that's going to be leaders in whatever field they choose to go to.
Through technology, we can really reach all children around the world and inspire them with great role models so that they can become the leaders of tomorrow and help change our world.
And back to COVID news, we have the Health Department reporting 14,200 new COVID-19 cases on Thursday. Almost 138,300 of the 2.54 million total caseload are still active. The DOH said 52 duplicates were removed from the case count, 38 of which are recoveries. 130 people died of the virus overnight, bringing the death toll to 38,200. 81 cases previously tagged as recoveries have been reclassified as deaths upon validation. Meanwhile, recoveries are at 2.37 million after 8,200 new survivors in the past 24 hours. 22% of the 62,300 total tests included in today's bulletin yielded positive results. TV host Anthony Pangilinan is set to feature a new brand of business leaders in One News's new program, Change Makers. Pangilinan told the One News's agenda that a lot can be learned from emerging entrepreneurs this pandemic. The show is set to feature business leaders who managed to thrive regardless of their business size and despite the new challenges presented by the pandemic.
I just wanted to say that the end product, of course, is important. Everybody has to deliver. But for me, ako yung nabago in featuring the 6 change makers, as we call them. So these are people who have produced and continue to produce in spite of the pandemic and in spite of the difficulty of the environment. At talaga namang nakaka-inspire silang lahat.
Changemakers, hosted by Anthony Pangilinan, will be premiering this Sunday at 7:30 p.m. on One News, channels 8 and 250. Let's take a quick look at today's other top stories. The government's outstanding debt has ballooned to 11.64 trillion pesos at the end of August. Borrowings rose by 32 billion pesos as a result of increased domestic debt. The total debt stock is expected to hit 11.73 trillion pesos by the end of this year. Security preparations are now underway at the CCP complex in Pasay City ahead of the filing of certificates of candidacies starting tomorrow. The filing of COCs for national positions will be held over at the Sofitel Hotel starting Friday. And tonight's Miss Universe Philippines Grand Coronation will be held in Panglao, Bohol. 28 candidates will be vying for the Miss Universe Philippines crown, as well as 2 new titles. The event will have a limited live audience of 100, all of whom must be fully vaccinated and tested negative for COVID-19. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.